Hi, I'm Noelle McManus. Thank you for purchasing my Art of Expressive Painting. I'm going to go over the course packet with you right now. So this is the first video. Hopefully what happened is you purchased my course either on my website or through me personally, and then you got emailed this packet. So the introduction is just saying thank you for purchasing this packet. I'm so excited to share this with you. And it talks about how we're going to communicate and the supplies we're going to use. So we're going to primarily use paint, but we're also going to use a lot of drawing materials as well, because that is how I create. I've included a supplies list and a calendar in this packet. If you have any questions, now this is a really important part. If you have any questions throughout this course, I want you to email me, or you can also text message me or give me a call. But that email is the best way to get in touch with me. I'm going to be checking my email every day at 9 a.m. So that's the best way to get in contact with me. I have 3 goals for this class. The first one is to teach basic painting techniques with impressionistic emphasis. So there's lots of different ways to paint, lots of good ways to paint. I'm going to show you mine. I'm going to teach you mine. These might be different than what you learned in school. They might be the same that you learned if you went to an art school. And it's okay if they don't work for you. There's lots of different ways to paint. I encourage you to find ones that do if it's something you're really passionate about learning. Secondly, I want to encourage you to craft a creative habit. So I'm hoping that drawing or painting becomes a little bit part of your everyday. Just like exercise, like going for a walk or something, it really helps you if you do it every day. It's the same, I believe, with drawing and painting. So I hope that you spend at least 5 minutes a day painting or drawing. And the first week of every month, we're going to focus on sketchbooks, and that's going to the emphasis on sketchbooks is something that I hope you incorporate into your daily life. And lastly, I want this class to be fun. Painting is fun. It does not have to be this doom and gloom sort of thing. I like to be taken seriously in my artwork, and I like to make serious art, but that doesn't mean that we can't have fun along the way. So the way that we'll be communicating is through YouTube and email. I will be making YouTube videos and publishing them. That's going to have most of our instruction, and I'm going to be sending those out with email. Those YouTube videos are going to be unlisted, okay? So meaning you will not be able to find them unless you have the link or unless you saved the link. So check those emails. Each week there will be an email with roughly 15 to 20 minutes. Some weeks there might be 2 videos depending on what we're going over. I will encourage you to set aside at least 30-ish minutes a week to work on your painting. I recommend more, but you don't have to do more. That's just kind of the minimum. I've made this course easy to jump in and out of the materials we're using. Sometimes things like oil painting, it's hard to stop, but the kind of painting that we'll be doing it's easy to, paint for 5 minutes and then stop. That being said, you could spend more time if you wanted to, and I encourage you to email me again if you have any struggles with any of the paintings, and also I encourage you to email me if you have any success as well, because I want to be your helper if you need it, but I also want to be your cheerleader. I encourage you to comment on the videos and begin discussion with the other people taking this class. Up next, we have the supply list. So the supply list is subject to change. There's the general supply list, what I've included, but sorry about my cat. But sometimes I might add something along the way. This is just the initial supply list. So we're going to use titanium white acrylic paint and Mars black acrylic paint. There are some very cheap versions of that you can get at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Amazon. Take your pick, whichever works for you and your budget. I suggest you have a round brush. Size 8 or 6 is what I recommend. You can go bigger. I would encourage you not to go smaller. You'll also need a flat brush, size 8 or 6. Again, you can go bigger. Recommend that you don't go smaller. We're going to use canvas paper or canvases, 9 by 12 or larger. We're going to use charcoal, vine charcoal or graphite pencil. That's going to be our underlaying sketch. we're going to draw our paintings out before we actually paint on them. And then with that, you're going to want to fix it because when we put paint on that, it's going to smear if we don't fix it. So I recommend Prismacolor fixative. You're going to need compressed charcoal or a charcoal pencil. Again, you're going to want to spray fixative on that so it doesn't move. You'll need a spray bottle, just like if you spray your hair with water or you are spraying a shirt to iron it, same thing. We're gonna use paint pens, acrylic paint pens. These are really, really fun. I like the Arteza brand. A black Sharpie, a sketchbook, painter's tape, an X-Acto knife or scissors. I like to use X-Acto knives, but they're kind of dangerous, so you might cut yourself. So scissors if you're cautious. String or yarn, whichever you have. And then chalk, white chalk, just regular white chalk. If you want to incorporate more colors, that's fine. In this course, I'm going to be using mostly black and white, just because that's a good way to start. Later on, if you're working on your painting and you want to add color, go for it. The next thing we're going to go over is our calendar. So this course is a 4-month course running from September to December. So week 1 of every month is going to be a sketchbook assignment. Week 2 is going to be a technical assignment, and we're going to begin the underdrawing of our painting. Those technical assignments are going to help us kind of learn what paint does and how it likes to move, learn about the vine charcoal, what it likes to do, the graphite. Week 3, we're going to really focus on our painting project. And then week 4, we're going to learn a little bit about an artist from history. And I'm going to help you with any creative blocks. So starting out in September, our sketchbook assignment is going to be shapes and lines. Our next one, September 12th, I'll be sending out a video introduction of the painting supplies, different ways to approach painting and play around with the materials. We're going to work on a drip painting project next that's been inspired by Pollock and de Kooning, and I'm going to help you complete those drip paintings. That can be non-representational, but we can also have some fun and make either a shape or a letter with that. It's going to be interesting. I think you guys will like it. Week 3, the sketchbook assignment is we're going to do simple shapes and objects. We're going to look at what a grayscale is. We're going to draw things around our house like cylinders, circles, balls, a box, squares, rectangles, all that good stuff. Next, in October, we're going to draw your favorite whatever. And we're going to start our painting, drawing something that we just really enjoy. We're going to be looking at Monet and Degas that month. So Degas was famous for drawing and painting ballerinas. Monet was famous for doing his water lilies. They both were sort of obsessive about that. They painted other things, but that's the main thing they painted. So I want you to find something that you could just do a lot, paint a lot of pictures of, and I'll help you with that, finding something to paint over and over again. And then we'll start our painting and continue it for the rest of the month. In November, we're going to focus on an artist named Frida Kahlo, which you guys probably know, and a contemporary artist named Akuni Crosby, Najika Akuni Crosby. And their things are they do paint these beautiful paintings, self-portraits, and they incorporate a lot of their heritage into it. So that's what we're going to do in the month of November. So we're going to do a portrait, but it's not going to be like a portrait of our face. It's going to be a portrait of something that means a lot to us, like your wedding ring, or, you know, if you have an object from childhood that means a lot to you, like a stuffed animal or something like that, something a little bit more simpler than a face, because faces can be pretty challenging. We're going to focus a lot in November on measuring, and our underdrawing is going to be really, we're going to spend quite a bit of time trying to make sure that underdrawing is really good, and then we'll add the paint on top of that. And then in December, we're going to focus on Van Gogh. So Van Gogh did a couple of really cool paintings. They're some of my favorite Van Gogh paintings of shoes. So we're going to do a painting inspired by Van Gogh's shoes, and do either your favorite pair of shoes or somebody you love's favorite pair of shoes. You can do a collection of shoes, however you want. And we'll talk during this month about how we can layer different painting techniques. So Van Gogh, he used lines, he used spots, he used all these different sort of painting techniques, and we're going to be focusing on those, and then also drawing on top of our painting. We'll be doing that throughout this course, but in the month of December, we're really focused on that. If you have any questions, please comment on this video. If you are not comfortable commenting, please send me an email. I would love to talk to you about this. The best way to get the most out of this course as possible is to communicate with me as much as you feel comfortable. I'm excited to go on this creative journey with you. Let me know if you have any questions.